Hello viewers, welcome to Unacademy. Let's crack management exams English. In today's session, we'll learn about percentages and percentage points. Before going on to the topic, let me very quickly introduce myself. I am Arjun R. Prasad, engineer with 12 plus years of teaching experience, having trained more than 6,000 CAT aspirants in the fields of quantitative aptitude, data interpretation, data sufficiency, and logical reasoning, as well as have trained them to crack the personal interviews. I have trained more than 4,000 students to crack the campus recruitment exams. Now, let us get started with today's topic. Very commonly used term percentage. Let us understand what does the term actually mean. What do we mean by percentage? Per means for every. Cent means 100. Therefore, percent means for every 100. Therefore, percent means for every 100. Is that clear? Now, just understanding this concept is not sufficient. We also need to think whenever we listen to the term percentage, we need to think through, right? Now, let us see. Let me give you an example. A training institute coordinator gives the following information to a prospective student of the institute. The information given is as follows. Last year, 60% of the students who enrolled with us got into IIMs, and this year, 90% of the students who enrolled with us got into IIMs. Now, my simple question, based on this statement, can we say that the institute is really good? Any thought? If we think more deep, we understand that just this amount of information is not sufficient. From here, we cannot conclude necessarily. Because let us say, hypothetically, let us say last year's 100 students enrolled. 60% of the 100, which means 60 of them got through. This year, only 10 enrolled. 9 of them got through. If I extrapolate, I can take it to a completely different level. Let us say the coordinator, instead of stating this, the coordinator states, last year, 90% of the people who enrolled with us got into IIMs, and this year, 100% of the people who enrolled with us got into IIMs. And if I take a hypothetical scenario again, just so that we understand the concept, let us say last year, 100 people had enrolled. 90% of them, that is 90 people got through. This year, only one person enrolled and the person got through. So, the point that we need to understand is, whenever we are dealing with percentages, the reference value or the base value is of extreme importance. Whenever we deal, while dealing with percentage, the base value or the reference value is extremely important. Is that clear? Now let us get started with a few questions. The first question is as follows. Production of wheat increased by 75% from year 1995 to year 2000. From year 2000 to year 2005, there was 100% increase in the production of wheat. Now the question is, what is the percentage increase in production of wheat from the year 1995 to the year 2005? Some people may think, okay, 75%, 100%, therefore 175%. No, that is, we are making a huge mistake if we think that way. If we look at and understand, see what happens. Let us say the production of wheat in the year 1995 was 100 units. Please understand, I am considering 100 units to begin with to make my life simple, because calculating the percentage on 100 is very easy. That is why I am considering let it be 100 units. Whatever it could be, it can be 2 quintals or 2 tons or whatever, 2 ton kilos, whatever you want to, it could be. But that I base it to 100 units. Let us say in the year 1995, the wheat production was 100 units. From the year 1995 to the year 2000, what actually happened? The production of wheat increased by 75%. That is, from 100 units, it became 175 units. 100 units plus 75% of 100, which is 75. 100 plus 75, 175 units it became. From the year 2000 to the year 2005, from the year 2000 to the year 2005, what happens? 175 that is there, it was 100% increase. That means if 1 is there, it gets doubled. If 2 is there, whatever the value is, it gets doubled. So 175, when it gets doubled, it becomes 350 units. Right? Now the question is, what is the percentage increase? Please understand, what is the percentage increase in the production of wheat from the year 1995 to the year 2005. From 1995 to 2005, that is from 100 units to 350 units. From 100 units to 350 units. From 100 to 350, what is the increase? 250 units. From where? From 100. So, increase of 250 units from 100 units. Because we need in terms of percentage, multiply it by 100. What is the answer? The answer is 250% increase. Is that clear? Let us take another question. Percentage increase in engineering graduates at a B school year over year is as follows. From the year 1990 to the year 1991, the percentage increase is 10%. From the year 1991 to the year 1992, the percentage increase is 25%. From the year 1992 to the year 1993, the percentage increase is 5%. Now the question is, what is the percentage increase of engineering graduates at that B school from the year 1990 to 1993? Again, the process is very similar. In the year 1990, let me say that 100x students. Why 100x? And I have not written it. Let us say 100 groups of people. Every group has equal number of people. 100 groups of people in the year 1990 were engineering graduates. From 1990 to 1991, the increase was 10%. That is, in the year 1991, the engineering graduates would be 110 groups. From the year 1991 to the year 1992, the increase is 25%. 25% means we have to calculate what is 25% of 110. Let us understand this. We need to calculate what is 25% of 110. 25% means 1/4. What is 1/4 of 110? 1/4 of 110 is same as 1/4 of 100 plus 1/4 of 10. What is 1/4 of 100? 25. What is 1/4 of 10? 2.5. 25 plus 2.5. 27.5. 27.5 is the increase. From 110, if I increase it by 27.5, I end up at 137.5. So, in the year 1992, 137.5 groups. In the year 1993, from 92 to 93, in percentage increases 5%. From 137.5, I have to increase it by 5%. What is 10% of 137.5? 13.75. 13.75. Correct? Now, shift the decimal point one place, you will get it as 13.75. That is 10%. What is 5% then? 5% then will be half of that. What is half of 13.75? 6.875. 137.5 plus 6.875 will give me 144.375. That is, in the year 1993, the number of engineering graduates was 144.375 groups. Now, what is the percentage increase from the year 1990 to the year 1993? From 100 to 144.375. What is the increase? 44.375. From where? From 100. In terms of percentage, multiply by 100. Therefore, 100 gets cancelled out and my answer will be 44.375% increase. So, therefore, the answer is 44.375% increase. Is that clear? Now, let me go ahead with another question. And this question, even though simple, is of extreme importance to understand the concept of percentages. Price of two articles. There are two articles, A and B. The price of two articles A and B are rupees 300 and rupees 200 respectively. That is, price of A rupees 300, price of B rupees 200. 4 questions I will be giving. Price of A itself is what percentage of price of B? Price of A is what percentage of price of B? The next, price of B is what percentage of price of A? The next, price of A is what percentage more than that of B? Then, price of B is what percentage less than that of A? If we think, A, the price of A is 300 rupees, the price of B is 200 rupees. The first question, price of A is what percentage of price of B? What is price of A? 300. So now the 300 itself is what percentage of what? What percentage of price of B? That is, the denominator will be the price of B here, because my reference over here is the price of B. So the question is 300 is what percentage of 200? That is 300 by 200 into 100, which is nothing but 150%. Clear? Next, price of B is what percentage of price of A? Price of B, that is 200, is what percentage of price of A, which is my denominator is price of A, 300. 200 by 300 into 100, 2/3 of 100, which is 66.6%. The next, price of A is what percentage more than price of B? 300 is how much more than 200? 100 more than. 100 more than what? 100 more than price of B. What is price of B? 200. 100 more than 200. My reference is important. Reference is price of B here. 100 out of 200 into 100, which is 50%. Next, price of B is what percentage less than that of A? Some people may be thinking, if A is 50% more than B, then B will be 50% less than A. No, that is wrong. Because B is what percentage less than A? Less than what? Less than A. So the denominator or the base value changes here. Numerator no doubt remains to be the same, because 200 is 100 less than 300. So that is right. 100 less than what? 100 less than 300. 100 less than 300. So than something. So that is my reference. 100 by 300 into 100, which is one third of 100, which is 33.33%. Another observation over here is, if price of A is 150% that of B, then the price of A will be 50% more than that of B. If the price of B is 66.66% less than that, is 66.66% that of A, then price of B will be 33.33% less than that of A. Is that clear? Understood? And before I proceed, it will be very much helpful. We will be going through some practice sessions as well, right? Practice exercises in the upcoming session. So it will be of extreme high importance and convenience if we understand and get acquainted to conversion of fractions to percentages and vice versa, at least till 12 by 12. 1 by 1, 100%. 1 by 2, 50%. 1 by 3, 33.33%. 1 by 4, 25%. 1 by 5, 20%. 1 by 6, 16.66. 1 by 7, 14.28. 1 by 8, 12.5. 1 by 9, 11.1. 1 by 10, 10%. 1 by 11, 9.09. 2 by 1, 200%. 2 by 2, 100%. 2 by 3, 66.66. 2 by 4, 50%. 2 by 5, 40%. So that way till 12 by 12. It will be of real help if you just write down 1 by 1 till 12 by 12 the fractions and get the corresponding percentage value. So it will be faster. Every day just go through it. Then it becomes very easy. Clear? Now, let us look at another question. If A's salary is 20% more than B's salary, then B's salary is what percentage less than that of A's salary? If A's salary is 20% more than B's salary, then B's salary is what percentage less than that of A's salary? See, consider B's salary to be 100. Why did I consider B's salary to be 100? Because the question is, if A's salary is 20% more than B's salary. So my reference will be B's salary so that my computation will be much easy and fast. If B's salary is 100 units, then A's salary is 20% more than that. Then A's salary will be 120 units. Now the question is, B's salary is what percentage less than A's salary? Of course, it is 20 units less. 20 units less than who? 20 units less than A's salary, which is 20 units less than 120. 20 by 120 into 100 is same as 1/6 of 100. 1/6 of 100 is 16.66%. 1/6 of 100 is 16.66%. Clear? Let us look at another question. Ratio of salaries of Arjun and his wife Smita is 3:8 by 3. The ratio of salaries of Arjun and his wife Smita is 3:8 by 3. By what percentage is Arjun's salary greater than his wife's salary? By what percentage is Arjun's salary greater than his wife's salary? See, the ratio of Arjun's salary to his wife's salary is 3:8 by 3. Whenever we are dealing with a ratio, if I multiply every value by the same constant, the ratio will not change. And dealing with fractions is time consuming. So let me convert it into integers. So 3:8 by 3, if I multiply both the values by 3, because I want to get rid of this fraction. So if I multiply both these values by 3, then the ratio is same as 9:8. 3:8 by 3 is exactly same as 9:8. That means If Arjun's salary is 9x rupees, then Smita's salary is 8x rupees. The question is, Arjun's salary is what percentage more than Smita's salary? So 9x is how much more than 8x? X more than 8x. X more than what? X more than 8x, x more than 8x, x by 8x into 100, x by 8x into 100, which is 1/8 of 100. 1/8 of 100 is 12.5%. 1/8 of 100 is 12.5%. Is that clear? Next, let us look at another question. Price of an item is increased by 20%. By what percentage should the price now be reduced to bring it back to original level? See, whatever the solutions I am showing you, these are only for explaining. But for these type of questions, it will be very quick and can be solved even without using paper and pen. Because, see, price of an item is increased by 20%. Let us say initially the price was 100. It became 120. Now, from 120, I have to bring it back. From 120, I have to bring it back to 100. That means I have to reduce it by 20. From where? From 120. Reduce it by 20 from 120 is same as 20 by 120, because I need in terms of percentage multiply by 100. 20 by 120 into 100, that is 2 by 12 into 100. 2 by 12, 1 by 6. 1/6 of 100, 16.66%. I have to reduce it by 16.66%. Is that clear? This is exactly what I have written over here. Initial price, let us say it was 100. Then the new price will be 120. From 120, I have to go back to 100. From 120, I have to go back to 100. That is 20. I have to reduce. From where? From 120. So denominator 120 into 100. 16.66%. Clear? Easy? Let us look at another question. After giving you this question, I'll give you a couple of minutes for you to think about it, and then let me provide you with the solution. The question is, in the year 2020, 60% of population of a certain village were men. 55% of men were affected by COVID-19. 60% of women were not affected by COVID-19. Total number of people in that village not affected by COVID-19 was 51,000. Find the total number of people in that village who are affected by COVID-19. Is that clear? Is the question clear? In the year 2020, 60% of the population of a certain village were men. 55% of men were affected by COVID-19. 60% of women were not affected by COVID-19. Total number of people in that village not affected by COVID-19 is 51,000. Find the total number of people in that village who are affected by COVID-19. I'll give you 2 minutes time. Think about it. Then I'll help you. Some of you might have already got the answer. Let us look at it. To the extent possible, always remember, avoid variables and fractions. Your life will be easy, right? So let us say the total population of that village was 100 groups. Every group had same number of people. Let us say the total population is 100 groups. Why I am dealing with 100? Because I don't want to write X. So let us say 100 groups. Why exactly 100? Because we are dealing with percentages. So let us say total population of that village is 100 groups. 100 groups of equal number of people. 60% of this population are sorry, 55% of 60% of the population of this village are men. 60% of the population of this village are men. What is 60% of 100? 60 groups. So out of these 100 groups, 60 groups are men. Out of 100 groups, if 60 groups are men, then how many groups are women? 40 groups are women. Right? Now he says 55% of men were affected by COVID-19. That is 55% of 60. What is 55% of 60? What is 50% of 60? 30. If 50% is 30, then 5% will be 3. 55% will be 33. So the number of groups of people among men who are affected by COVID-19 are 33 groups of people. Not affected, 60 minus 33, which is 27 groups of people are not affected. Then he says 60% of women were not affected. So I have 40 groups of women. 60% of 40. What is 60% of 40? See, 10% of 40 is 4. So 60% of 40 is 4, 6 times, which is 24 groups of women are not affected by COVID-19. Then how many people are affected? 16 groups are affected. Fine. What is the total number of people in that village who are not affected by COVID-19? 51,000. So totally 27 groups plus 24 groups, which is 51 groups of people. 51 groups is equal to how many people? 51,000. 51 groups is equal to 51,000 people. That means in each group, how many people are there? 1,000 people are there. Find the total number of people in that village who are affected. 49 groups are affected. That means 49,000 people are affected. When we solve it in this way, without using variable, without using fraction, our life becomes easy. Is that clear? Understood? Let me proceed with the next question. An educator conducts CAT workshops every year for 60 students. In the year 2020, amount he charged per workshop was 20% more than what he charged in 2019. Also, the number of workshops he conducted in 2020 is 10% less than the number of workshops conducted in 2019. The total revenue generated from workshop in 2020 was rupees 8,000 more than that in 2019. The total revenue from workshops in 2019 is how much? Again, you have about 2 minutes time to think and solve. Then I shall help you. Okay, let us look at the solution. Now, observe this: 2019, 2020, 2 years. Let us say the number of workshops that the educator conducted in the year 2019 was 100 workshops. In 2020, the number of workshops conducted was 10% less. Therefore, the number of workshops conducted in the year 2020 will be 9. Let us say the revenue from each workshop in the year 2019 was 100 rupees or 100 units per workshop. If 100 units per workshop, then in 2020 this got increased by 20%, making it 120 units per workshop. What is the total revenue generated in 2019? 100 units per workshop, 100 workshops. So total money generated is 10,000 units. In 2020, 120 into 90, which is 10,800 units. What is the difference? 800 units. What is this 800 units equal to? 800 units is equal to 8,000 rupees. 800 units is equal to 8,000 rupees. Then 10,000 units, that is the revenue generated in 2019, 10,000 units, therefore will be equal to how much? Will be equal to 1 lakh rupees, because 1 unit is equal to 10 rupees. So 10,000 units will be 1 lakh rupees. Now you might be wondering, in this entire process we did not use the value 60 at all. It is not needed. It is not always necessary that every data that is given has to be used. If we are smart, we do not need that, because even if I use it, I will end up with the same answer. I can show it to you. That is the reason that I have taken this part on the right hand side over here, right? Again, 2019, 2020, let us say the number of workshops 100, then the number of workshops 90. Let us say amount that he charges for each student for each workshop is 100 units. 60 students attend the workshop, they pay 100 units, so 6,000 units, right? Now 60 students, each pays 120 units, therefore amount generated per workshop is 7,200 units here. The total revenue generated in this case is 6 lakh units, 6,000 into 100, 6 lakh units. Here 7,200 into 90, 6 lakh 48,000 units. The difference 48,000 units. 48,000 units is 8,000 rupees. 48,000 units is 8,000 rupees. That means 1 unit is 1/6 of a rupee. 1 unit is 1/6 of a rupee. So 6 lakh units is 1/6 of 6 lakhs, which is 1 lakh rupees. Is that clear? Everyone understood? Let us go ahead with another question, which is the price of sugar decreased by 25%, and at the same time expense on sugar by a homemaker increased by 20%. What is the percentage change in consumption of sugar by that family? Just think about it. We will get it in this fashion. Let us say earlier the price was 100 rupees per kilo. The price of sugar decreased by 25%. So now it will be 75 rupees per kilo. Earlier, let us say I was spending 500 rupees. Now you might be thinking, why did I consider the value 500? Why didn't I consider 100 rupees? Because I want to avoid fractions throughout. That is the reason I considered, let us say I was spending 500 rupees. 100 rupees per kilo. I went to the shop, I paid 500 rupees. How many kilos of sugar will the shopkeeper give me? 5 kilos. So the consumption, 5 kilos. Now what happened? I increased my expense by 20%. See, 10% of 500 is 50. So 20% will be 100. I increased by 100 rupees. So my expense now is 600 rupees. The price per kilo is 75 rupees and I paid 600 rupees. How many kilos will the shopkeeper give me? 75. How many times makes it 600? 8 times. So he gives me 8 kilos. Earlier the consumption was 5 kilos of sugar. Now the consumption is 8 kilos of sugar. What is the percentage change? It is 3 kilos increase. 3 kilos increase. From where? From 5. 3 kilos increase from 5 is nothing but 3/5 of 100. 3/5 in terms of percentage is 60%. And because it's an increase, I have shown it over here as increase. So what is the percentage change in consumption? 60% increase is the percentage change in consumption. Is that clear? So what is the percentage change? 60% increase. Next, let us understand the meaning of percentage point. See, percentage means for every 100. Percentage point means what? Percentage point is nothing but comparison of percentages. Percentage point is comparison of percentages. Right? Now, let me give you an example. My company made a profit of 30% last year and the profit percentage this year is 10 percentage points more than last year. 10 percentage points more than last year, which means I am indirectly stating that the profit this year is 40%. See, the profit last year was 30%. Profit this year is 40%. Another quick question over here. Can we say from this data that the company is doing good? See, last year only 30% profit. This year 40% profit. Can we say that the company is doing good? Not necessarily. Why? Because let us say last year I invested 100 rupees. I got 30 rupees gain. This year I invested only 1 rupee. I got 40 paisa gain. So, not necessary that the company is doing good. Is that clear to everyone? So, whenever dealing with percentages, see, percentage itself is an eyewash. It's an abstraction for every 100. Percentage point is an abstraction over and above the initial abstraction. So, more and more levels of abstraction that are obtained, more and more details get encapsulated. It will not be a transparent thing. That is why whenever you come across something called percentage, please be careful. I'll share an example. See, because all of this, whatever we are studying, whatever we are learning, is not just for the sake of being able to crack at. Beyond that, we have to reason out. Whenever we come across these terms, we need to be able to reason out. I'll share an incident, a real funny incident. During admission season, during admission time for schools, just go around your locality and observe. You will see that, for that matter, every school, most probably every school, would have put up a huge flex banner in front of their school which states 100% result. Please understand, if a person is not vigilant, the person may fall for it. Because what is stated is 100% result. Nothing else has been stated. In a big bold letter, 100% result has been stated. What does 100% result mean? See, you should state 100% pass. 100% result is obvious because every person who attempts an exam will get a result. So 100% result does not mean anything, right? So that is why understanding and reasoning becomes extremely important. So every session of mine, I emphasize on the capacity to reason. Please reason this. Okay? Let us look at another question and understand the percentage point concept. I have given you the solution as well over here. We'll come to the solution part in a while. First, let us read the question and understand what is being stated here. Production of total food grains in a country. Production of total food grains in a country increased by 50% in a year from previous year. In the same time, production of wheat increased by 20%, while production of wheat as a percentage of total food grains produced in a year decreased by 5 percentage points. What is the percentage change in the production of food grains other than wheat in the same period? See, I want to avoid variables to the extent possible. That is why I have started with an assumption. Let us say previous year total food grain production. Previous year total food grain production was 100 units. Then this year or current year the total food grains produced increased by 50%. So 100 units becomes 150 units. But I don't know wheat is what percentage of the food grain. Therefore, I cannot use the value 100 over here. That is why I am using, let the production of wheat be X units. Let us say production of wheat was X units in the previous year. Now this X units got increased by 20%. X plus 20% of X. 20% of X is 0.2X. X plus 0.2X is 1.2X. So the amount of wheat produced this year is 1.2X units. Then he says, production of wheat as a percentage of food grains produced in the year decreased by 5 percentage points. See, in the previous year, wheat produced was X units. Total food grain in that year was 100 units. So wheat as a percentage of food grains in the previous year means X out of 100 into 100. Percentage of wheat as a percentage of food grains in the current year means 1.2x out of 150 into 100. From previous year, this value from previous year, the percentage of wheat as a percentage of food grains previous year, wheat as a percentage of food grains this year, there is a decrease 5 percentage points. So the difference over here is 5. If I simplify, 100, 100 gets cancelled out. 0, 0 gets cancelled out. 15 is the LCM. Take it as 15, right? Then this will become 15x minus 1.2 into 10, 12x. So 15x minus 12x is 3x. 3x by 15 is equal to 5. If I simplify it further, I get x as 25. So x is 25. Now let us look at the question. What is the percentage change in production of food grains other than wheat in the same period? Other than wheat we need. So, previous year, 100 units was the total food grain. 25 units is wheat. Other than wheat, what is the total food grains other than wheat? 75 units. 100 minus 25, which is 75 units. This year, 150 minus 1.2x, that is 25 into 1.2, 25 into 1.2, or 25 increased by 20%. 25 is there, 10% is 2.5. Another 10%, another 2.5. So the increase is 5. From 25 increased by 5, it becomes 30. 150 minus 30, 150 minus 30 is 120. So 75 units to 120 units, what is that percentage change? From 75 units to 120 units, what is the percentage change? First, we need to understand it's an increase. Increase by how much? Increase by 45. From where? From 75. 45 by 75 into 100, because we need it in terms of percentage. 45 by 75 into 100, when simplified, gives me the answer as 60%, and it is 60% increase. Please understand, it is 60% increase. Is that clear? Hope you understood the concepts. Let us look at the key points or key takeaways. Meaning of percentage for every 100. Meaning of percentage point. Comparison of percentages. Acquaintance of conversion from fractions to percentages and vice versa is extremely important and will come handy. Avoid the use of variables as much as possible and avoid the use of fractions as much as possible. Now, hope you enjoyed this session. Do subscribe to Unacademy for access to more such sessions. What you get when you subscribe? You get access to the daily live classes where you can ask your doubts, answer the polls, chat with the educator. You get access to live tests and quizzes. The course is in a very structured manner, and just one subscription gives you unlimited access to all the educators on the platform. You also get access to the live classes, batch sessions, and understand that the added advantages, if you are a person whose prime time is early in the morning or late in the evening, you can choose a schedule that works for you. You can learn anytime and anywhere without language being a barrier. You can interact with the educator, get your doubts cleared, and answer the live polls. You can answer the live tests and quizzes. You will be provided with a detailed report and analysis for every question that you solve and every test that you attempt. And there is umpteen amount of material available, so you get access to the learning material and the PDFs. All of this comes at a very reasonable price of just rupees 18,900 rupees for a subscription for 24 months. Please understand, this 18,900 rupees is the subscription fee after a 10% discount, and you get the 10% discount when you use the code APUS while subscribing. APUS is the code. Arjun Prasad Unacademy subscribe. APUS is the code. So use the code APUS and subscribe. And it is worthwhile to subscribe for 24 months because it's extreme value for money. Because if you look at it, for 12 month subscription, it is just 15,750. You just add 1 month subscription fee to it and you get an access for another extra 12 months. So therefore, a 24-month subscription is the most beneficial. Do subscribe and use the code APUS. Do not forget to use the code APUS while subscribing to get a benefit of 10% discount. Is that clear? Hope you enjoyed the session. Hope to see you soon. Here is Arjun Prasad signing off. Thank you.